to a little bit local here. Steelers quarterback room. I said I don't necessarily love Russ. I've never been a big Justin Fields fan. But in one offseason, if we're going from Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph, and we can pay less and get Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, it's not. I can't ask for much more of a turnaround in one offseason. What are your thoughts on what they did this offseason in the quarterback room and your outlook going forward with the Steelers quarterbacks?
I think it's pretty plain and simple here. Steelers GM Omar Khan just absolutely cooked this offseason, in my opinion. Just paying Russell Wilson $1.21 million dollars and Justin Fields $3.23 million dollars this year is incredible value for the amount of talent and potential that they have that they just brought to the table. So, yes, maybe neither one of them have been particularly impressive over the past two seasons, but whenever you talk about the train wreck of Pickett, Rudolph, Trubisky that the Steelers are moving on from, these two new QBs look phenomenal. So, it's basically all relative. Obviously, they're not bringing in a Patrick Mahomes. Nobody is. There's only
Sure.
one of those guys. But I hear the question asked a lot. Do you really think that Russ can help to lead the Steelers to Super Bowl this year? And people think of the most recent version of Russ that they've seen, and they immediately answered. I also hear the question: do you really think that clown named Arthur Smith, arguably the most hated man in NFL media last year, can come in and save the
Fair.
Steelers offense? And people again think of the most recent version of Arthur Smith and that they've seen, and they answer no. So but now that these two are tied together with high hopes from fans and analysts, like all across the NFL landscape, I'm just kind of intrigued as to what we're going to see because if the Let Russ Cook movement taught me anything in Seattle, it's that Pete Carroll was absolutely correct in trying to make things simple and try to protect Russ. So as we know, that Seattle offense with Russ was a run first with running backs like Marshawn Lynch, Chris Carson. Then they would execute some beautifully effective play action passes off of that where Russ could just roll out and make huge plays with that famous moon ball of his. And then for Arthur Smith in 2019 and 2020 when he was offensive coordinator of the Titans, he also ran a run first offense between that beast that or behind that beast that is Derrick Henry. They were also able to run some effective play action passes off the run game because teams were stacking the box against Henry. And Smith's offense succeeded with a quarterback who I wouldn't have put in the top 15 quarterbacks in the league.
No
Ryan
shot.
Tannehill.
No shot.
Yeah, not even close. So is Ryan Tannehill a special quarterback who brings a lot to work with? Not at all. But
No,
Arthur
they
Smith and
they were the
Derrick
one
Henry.
seed. Yeah, they were the one seed.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, in 2019, they made it to the AFC Championship game with that offense. And then the following year, they were the number one seed in 2020. And Ryan Tannehill in this offense under Arthur Smith, he was the third highest graded PFF quarterback in 2019, seventh highest graded PFF quarterback in 2020. And so, do I think that Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith can come together and create some high-flying, flashy, league-leading offense this season? No, this is not a Shanahan style offense that brings speed, motion, scheming receivers open, unexpectedness to the table. This is a ground and pound offense that once you're expecting to run, then we'll hit you deep with one deep shot, and then we're going to go right back to the run game. But I
Sure.
do think that this quarterback offensive coordinator pairing is damn near perfect for the pieces that they have to work with.
I
Omar Khan has also been cooking up that O line this season. The
yeah.
running game can be effective between Najee and Jalen Warren, but I do have some concerns about that receiving core as a whole. Pickens at wide receiver one, like all of us watching Steelers games, we've seen what he can do. He makes flashy plays. Just get him the ball more is what everybody's hoping for. Roman Wilson in the slot is average, I would say.
Yeah, I guess
I'm
we
a
haven't
big
seen him
draft
yet,
guy, so
but
like, yeah, we haven't seen him yet, exactly. But I'm a big draft guy, and I like watch film on all these guys. But I'm not as high on him as other analysts are. I feel like he's kind of limited after the catch, but also Fryermuth needs to stay healthy. But the other starting outside wide receiver that they have it's a battle between Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, Marquez Callaway, or Quez Watkins. Like I don't feel good about that at all.
yeah, those are a lot
So
of
this is
threes.
all
Those feel like a lot of
exactly,
threes.
yeah,
Yeah.
or fours, three or fours.
Yeah, you're probably right there. You're probably right.
Like this, and obviously like this is all going to play into the success of Russ because if Russ can protect the ball this season, make accurate throws, be a leader that doesn't get his teammates fed up with his goofiness because he is goofy and he needs to win over that locker room,
True.
not basically lose them right off the bat, but then I believe that Arthur Smith's offensive scheme can make Russ look much more like his Seattle form. But that kind of scares me to say that because these are two guys who have kind of been written off the past two seasons. But I guess we'll see what happens. And as for Justin Fields, this guy has shown flashes unlike many other quarterbacks in the league. Like whenever Justin Fields was at his best in like basically like 2 or 3 games each of the past two seasons, he looked like almost unstoppable. he just kind of lacks the consistency, and he's got some very questionable accuracy sometimes. But no doubt that Justin Fields has all the tools, and the Steelers fans just continuously like dream about his potential. I just hear them saying like Justin Fields should like start immediately and all that. But I think he definitely just needs to learn behind Russ about how to rein it all, or learn behind Russ about how to rein it all in, focus on his strengths, and mature as a decision maker and passer. Because I feel like that's where the questions about Justin Fields stemmed from. That's how he got traded. That's why he got traded from Chicago to the Steelers. But all in all, outside of the 49ers with Brock Purdy, this is probably the Steelers quarterback room, the second most valuable quarterback room in terms of money, talent, and potential in the NFL, I would say.
Well, true. I mean, they're paying what, like a total of 3.5, and they got two decent guys. So the guy at the helm,
Yeah.
obviously being